If it's lagging or if anyone can't hear me, let me know. Because we're driving. Just driving, man. At Mallory driving, so that obviously I don't have to while I'm doing this. Well, so anyway, see if a few more of you hop on here. I guess I need to explain myself. I'm supposed to be in a abandoned location right now, but it kind of fell through. Yeah, Karen, we're in Pennsylvania. I'm down near Tyrone, or like Tipton, PA, just randomly driving. Chad, if you're still on here, what's up, man? This is like the second live stream I've ever done. I don't do this ever. I'm not really a live person. Nice, Karen. Yeah, Altoona's not a bad place. It has its ups and downs. I lived there for a very long time. Well, it looks like literally, see, this is what happens. This is why I don't do live streams very often, because there's literally only 2 of you on here. So out of, I guess you got to give it a little bit of time. I don't do this often enough, and I don't know how to use YouTube properly. Oh, there's 3. Hey Laura, how you doing? But I figure I see people getting like previews when people are about to go live. You'll get like half-hour previews to say like going live in 30 minutes. I don't get that option yet. It's because I don't have like enough subscribers, or I don't know, but I noticed the higher up channels can do that, but I can't yet. So I just have to go live randomly and hope that people see the notification. I can't really give a warning. I'll give it another couple minutes here, and if no one hops on, I'll explain what's going on. And if there's any questions in the meantime, let me know. Yeah, Laura, taking a drive because there's literally nowhere else to be at the moment. I was supposed to be at the abandoned turnpike. I was going to do a live stream there, and there was some construction going on. We couldn't get to where we wanted to get. It was close enough to a tunnel, so we would have been walking for a solid hour, and it was like 90 degrees today. It was ridiculous, and we were kind of on a tight time limit, and it was kind of too early to do a live stream anyway. So we decided to come back, and figured I would just at least owe it to you guys to do something. But obviously this isn't very cool, but at least you can ask me some questions or whatever else. And people that are going to view this after it's live, sorry that I couldn't warn you. Yeah, Karen, I've been to the Riddlesburg Coke Oven. I actually did a video on it. You can watch it. It's probably about 2 years old now. But I wish the messages. There we go. Chad's having a great time. That's awesome, man. Thank you. I know. I've known you for about 20 years, so I know that can't be true, but. Yeah, Laura, is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. You know, I've been having a lot of rough luck lately as far as, you know, getting into places. Like, I've had a lot of flops lately. I haven't really discussed them on the channel. The most frightening place I've been to, I don't know, it's hard to say. none of them have really. I haven't. The only time I was ever really creeped out at a place was when I was doing the Lawrence Frick State Hospital by myself up in Crescent. The first time I went was by myself. The second time I took the wife, and the third time I went up with Rob and Christy from RNK All Day. And like I said, the first time I was by myself, and it was pitch black in the basement, and I've never been there before, and I didn't have a flashlight. I just had my cell phone, and it was really, that was probably the most creeped out I've ever been. But like ultimately, nothing happened, and there was no reason to be creeped out. It was just because it was black and I couldn't see anything. But there's nothing really that. You went to school in Crescent. Nice. I wish, Chad. They would have me arrested in 30 seconds. That'd be awesome, though. So, Karen, then you're familiar with the CSI Crescent State Correctional Institution. Yeah, that was one of my favorite places I ever filmed. I had full access to it. It was really, really awesome. See, there's a fourth person on here now. Big number 4. Cass. Hey, how you doing, Cass? Chad, I might take you up on that, on one of these adventures, man. My luck's been not too good lately. There's been like 5 flops in a row, you know, just to be honest. I don't do this the way a lot of these other guys do. Like last year I used to be like 10 videos ahead, and because I had more time. This year's been really tight. I'm just trying to bust them out. I literally don't even have the prison done yet for next week, but I didn't even film it yet. I'm filming it on Thursday, and I gotta hope to edit and get everything done by Friday. But Laura, where did I learn to do tats? I don't know. It's been a long time. It was just a hobby that I messed around with out of interest about 13 years ago, and I still am messing around with it. By no means do I consider myself a professional tattoo artist or anything. It's like a hobby of mine. I appreciate that, Laura. I really, I put a lot of work into this and a lot of time into this, more than people realize. Especially, when you have a family and everything, and it's in work, it's not easy to drive, 8 hours to a location and back, on a whim, not even knowing if you're going to get in or if it's even still standing anymore. It's kind of ridiculous, but I love it. Karen, you moved back to Ohio. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of abandoned stuff in Cleveland. A couple of my friends, film there all the time. A couple of YouTubers that I talk to are from Cleveland, and yeah, there's tons of stuff there. A lot more than there is where I live. Oh, okay. Chad, are you talking about the Crescent prison, or are you talking about the jail that I'm gonna film on Thursday? Anyway, I'm filming a jail on Thursday. It's not abandoned, but it's extremely historic and old. By the way, it's impossible to keep everybody happy on YouTube, as you all know. I mean, no two people are the same, and everybody has different ideas of what they want my channel to be like. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Cass. I appreciate it. But it's just like I don't want to be stuck only doing abandoned stuff. Like, that's what I like to do the most. But a lot of these like old buildings that are on their last leg, that might not necessarily, like, they might be owned but not necessarily abandoned. Like, I try to get them in too, because a lot of them have crazy stories that people have never heard of or will never hear of. I've never heard of them, and I've lived here forever. So I like to get some interesting places in that may not be abandoned, but they're definitely worth checking out. Karen, I sometimes I do carry, but like if I have permission on a property, which I try. By the way, if anyone who's wondering, I don't sneak onto every single one of these properties. I try to get permission for as many of them as I can. Some of them are impossible to, and you just have to take your chances. But the ones that I do have permission for, like if I have full access to a property that's in the middle of nowhere and the owner knows I'm going, I'll definitely go. I'll carry a gun. But if I go into a property that I'm not 100% sure about, I don't like to carry in case I get a charge. Not only will it be a trespassing charge, but you'll get charged for having a loaded gun as well, and that's a whole other charge. They'll think that I'm trying to burglarize the place, or so it's you got to be really careful with that as far as anyway. So yeah, Karen, sometimes I do, but it's about 50-50. I appreciate it, Laura. We're like pretty much in like Pinecroft, PA right now, heading towards Altoona, and I appreciate the kind words. I try to be creative as much as possible. Try to push the kids to be creative because ultimately, I don't know. I feel like if work and life catches up to you and it sucks the life out of you, and being creative and doing stuff like this still keeps me feeling like a kid, and that's ultimately why I do it. It's like reliving my childhood, I guess. Chad, let me know anytime, man. You got my number. I have, I'm not like these other guys that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or like I don't have people throwing me out places every day like, oh, come check this out. Every once in a while I do, and I usually follow up on them, but I really, I don't have that every day. I don't have people inviting me to England to film. I probably could if I really got involved with the Instagram aspect, but I don't really bother with it. I let the wife completely, and I'll say this for the record, anything that you see on Underground Stills is from my wife's point of view. She goes along to about 80% of these places with me. Sometimes she can't, and she has to stay with the kids, but for the most part, like anything that you see on Underground Stills on Instagram is her work. The still shots that you see in my videos are mine, but she handles all the Instagram stuff. So if you ever want to privately DM us or whatever, she relays everything to me. I have a joint account, obviously, but I don't mess with Instagram. It's a whole other, I stick to this. I do, I like the video aspect. I love editing and stuff, and she loves photography, so it works out. She does that so I don't have to waste, spend double the time in a place just to get photos. I take a quick, maybe 20 shots while I'm there, but the rest is video. Chad, wish someone would have put together fireworks in Altoona compilation. Yeah, well, you guys always have crazy fire, like 4th of July's, from what I remember, Chad. But yeah, that would have been cool, man. I'm sure there are. I mean, if you look on YouTube, there might be, some videos of that. A lot of people were filming live that night. Laura. Oh, I appreciate that. I do everything from my phone, so there's, I don't have like a studio like these other guys. I'm not saying these other guys, like not everybody has a studio and not everybody uses crazy equipment. I just refuse to because it's ridiculous. In order to film a place, properly, like if you want to like make a production out of it, you need to spend, if you're talking like a 5,000 square foot building, like you need to like spend at least like 4 hours, for everything, to like as far as filming and pictures. Sometimes you have to wait for the right lighting. With this, like, I don't really have time to do that. I have to be in and out, like, this is realistic. I'm not pretending with anything that I post on my videos. As far as, if I say that I'm doing something, it means I'm doing it. If I say, like, it's all reality based. Like tonight, it was a flop. I couldn't get into where I wasn't gonna make something else up. It's like, no, I'll at least just drive around for a while. But it is what it is. Oh, that's awesome, Laura. I'm glad that they, do something for someone, because I feel like, not complaining in any way. I'm very appreciative for all my subscribers, but sadly, when I first started this channel, I had no idea what I was really doing. Like, what I didn't really get a feel for, what my channel should be about until about a year and a half into it. Because I'm all over the place. I have all kinds of hobbies. I do tattoos, I do woodworking, and I make like beard products, all kinds of weird stuff. So I was throwing all these hobbies of mine into one channel, and I figured out, like, that I need to stick with just one topic. And because if everyone's expecting to see an exploring video and I post a DIY video, I'm going to lose all those DIY subscribers, all those exploring subscribers. But I guess what I'm trying to get to here is, I have an old video. It's a DIY pool deck. If you go down to like it's like a minute long. It's one of the crappiest, quickest videos I ever put together, but it's my highest viewed video. It has like 280 some thousand views, which isn't a lot in the YouTube world, but to me it is, considering my low subscriber count. So that's my highest viewed video, and it's a DIY video, and this isn't a DIY channel. So I don't know, it's kind of frustrating. A lot of my subscribers come from like people that aren't into exploring. So I'll post an exploring video and I always like jump back 10 subscribers. I'll lose 10 and then I'll gain 20. So it's always like, it's constantly a game. But yeah, this is all, there's a little bit of planning obviously that goes into this. You really have to do your homework, and I spend a lot of time sending emails, and I spend a lot of time on the phone trying to contact property owners, trying to contact councilmen, whatever. You got to talk to the historical societies sometimes, but ultimately everything is, sometimes I'll just take a ride, and if I see something, I'll jump out and film it. That's how it works. There's no like method to it, really. Yes, Laura, unfortunately you cannot please everyone. It's hard to please one person, okay, in life. You spend your life trying to please your husband or your wife or your kids, but trying to please everyone in the world, especially on YouTube when people are hiding behind keyboards and their cell phones and they're kind of anonymous, you're going to deal with, some people that but I honestly, I get a kick out of it. It's ultimately like, if someone says like, oh, your video sucked, like, go find something new to do, like, that's fine. Ultimately that's good that they got it out, and like maybe it made their day better, and then maybe like I just don't have to deal with that person and like they're off the channel. Like, this channel, no one is holding a gun to anyone's head forcing them to watch a YouTube channel. Ultimately, if you like this channel, then watch it. If you think it sucks, then don't bother. Like, you can send me a message that says it sucks, but at the same time, like, you're just wasting like 45 seconds of your own time. Like, just go to a different channel that you might like more. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's a no-brainer. All right, let's catch up here. You need to eat more stunts to eat worm. I know, right? You got to do like weird stuff. I just saw, not calling any of these guys out because I'm cool with a few of them, but these bigger explorers, not going to mention any names. If you just look at the trend, they're all doing the same thing. Like, they're all with the same, like, this week I noticed every single, I'm not going to say every single, because YouTube world, I can't, nothing's right. So I'm going to say this in the easiest terms as possible. But I saw at least 4 exploring channels, and they're all talking about this new app. I forget what it's called, but you start like you. I don't even remember what was it.
Rock meter or something.
I don't. Yeah, something weird. But you actually like talk into it, and it tells you a location to go or whatever based on your thoughts, and then you have to go to the location. It's almost like Pokemon Go, but it's on like locations, and you just drive to them, and it's supposed to be relevant to what you were thinking. And these explorers are doing it and setting up their videos to find things that they already planted there, and it's like a huge joke to me. But ultimately that's the shit that you got to do to make people happy. Like, if you want to entertain people, you got to lie, you got to be fake, you got to, and so that's why my channel is where it is, because it's fairly boring, and I'm honest. So people don't like that, I guess. It's like if I had, if my kid wouldn't go to sleep on time and I'm tired the next day, I'm not going to put out a video, sorry. But I feel I don't have an obligation to YouTube or anybody else. I have an obligation to the few of you that are watching this right now, because I notice, I pay attention to my posts and everything after I post them. There's usually like the same maybe 10 people that are that are actual fans of the channel, and there might be more too that just aren't on YouTube every day and get notifications every day. But like, I notice like the trend. There's the same few of you that are always commenting, and I do really, really appreciate that. Like, that is that keeps it going. Because trust me, there's been times where it's like, I'm so busy, there's so many things going on. Do I really have time to drive 4 hours to go to this abandoned farm that might not even be there? And my free time is very valuable to me. I have a million things going on in my life. So to take out, an entire day from my kids, my wife, my job, everything that's going on a whim to possibly film an abandoned place and possibly get arrested or possibly get hurt, or killed. I don't mean to be dramatic, but sometimes there's days where I'm like, is this really worth it? But ultimately, like I said, it's a hobby, so it's fun. It is worth it to me. Especially during this pandemic, it really kept me sane, for sure. Hi, Mr. Buck. Welcome. Welcome to the boring live stream. Yeah, Laura, I'm driving in PA. I'm actually in Altoona right now. I grew up in Altoona. I live outside Altoona now. People ask me all the time. My address is, no, never mind. But yeah, that's the mall in Logan Township. I'm trying to stay in areas where I'm not going to lose service, because I know live stream is choppy as it is, and when you're moving, it can be even worse. Chad, I am going to stop every one of these nights. Literally, the baby's sleeping in the back as we speak. We had to drive to do this so that I could have some silence. That's dedication, guys. See? I mean, that's how much I care about this channel. I put my whole family through all this crap. No, I'm kidding. They don't care. What's up, Reagan? Thank you for joining the 6-person party. 7-person party. All right, Laura. But yeah, it's total bummer. Nothing worked out today. But it's not really a bummer to me. I've been to that place like 3 or 4 times already. Like, it's not. Yeah, Miss Buck, me too. There's a lot of abandonment in Altoona, and there's a lot of interesting places. It's like a hidden gem. Most people in Pennsylvania, like other explorers from Philly that I talk to, and from New York, especially out of state, no one seems to know about Altoona except for the Horseshoe Curve or something like that. And it's like, there's a lot of crazy things here. It's where the first gas station was in America. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it actually is, but that's not really the coolest thing. But I do want to go to a couple of other places that I've already been. I've been doing these Return to Rottens, which, I mean, I get it, guys. No one's complained about them, but they're kind of like a lazy attempt to keep the channel, going, because I try to put something out every like a real life, like an actual life. Like it's not really like practical, unless this was my only job and I was a single man and I could just do whatever I wanted. It's not practical to have a mental hospital, filmed and edited every single week, So I try to put a little something out, and a lot of people were asking, what's going on with these places. People will say, like, what's it look like now in a couple of those videos. So I tried to go around Altoona, somewhere close, and hit up all the old spots that aren't there anymore, that were torn down. And so I just did like that 5-part series, but I might do more, but I'm going to try to make them more interesting and more longer. The back end of 6th Ave. Yeah, for sure, Reagan. There's some gritty spots down there, man. I lived in that neighborhood at one point. I've lived all over Altoona, growing up, but it's kind of nice to be on the outskirts now. Yeah, Chad. Are you talking the old Kmart out there? Well, are you talking Farmore or Kmart? Kmart is abandoned out there, like by the Logan Valley Mall in Altoona too. It's not abandoned. I mean, it's for sale. I wouldn't call it abandoned. But yeah, Chad, that would be that place is scary, man. Might get murdered filming that place out in the street. Yeah, that was a rough spot. But my next spot after that wasn't much better either. Yeah, Chad. What is it, abandoned now or something? Oh, yeah, I think it's something else though. I think someone took over Farmore. Kmart's shut down and no one's buying it now. I just read on the news there's like 3 parties trying to move in there, and they all like backed out due to the coronavirus, because no businesses know when they can open, so they're not moving in now. But I don't know, another dude came into Altoona and filmed the outside of Kmart and got like 20,000 views on his video. I was kind of not pissed or jealous, but it's kind of irritating when people go and film these parking lots and they're getting like 10,000 views per video, and it's like, bro, you're in the parking lot film, like you don't even go up to not only do they not go in, which I refuse to film a place unless I go inside, but they're not even like peeking in or anything. They're just in the parking lot talking about an abandoned store, and I don't know. I mean, I must be doing something wrong because it's going on 3 years here, and maybe I need to do live feeds every weekend. Like, I know some people that do live feeds like every night, but I don't know about you guys, but that would be pretty darn boring if I was on here every single night talking about the same thing. And my life isn't that interesting where I can come up with 20 new topics every week, other than if you want to hear about the dishes that we did and the house that we cleaned. Reagan, I do go up 36 every once in a while. Trust me, I go up like any route out of Altoona or like any surrounding town or city. I try to travel on. Like, if I have to go somewhere on the highway, I always take the back roads, because that's where the abandonment is. There's nothing along the highways, as you know. So I try to take the back roads just in case, and I've hit almost everything that's, well, I mean, I don't want to say that. I haven't hit everything that's worth hitting, because there's a lot of places that are hidden that I don't know about. I mean, there's about 1,000 places in Altoona that I could film, but I just don't, I don't drive down every single street to look for them. But yeah, 36 does offer a lot. There's a lot of these routes out of Altoona that have a lot of abandonment, especially since the highway took over. We're going through the hood now. Laura, yes, I'm very grateful to be able to leave the house. I understand that there's people that watch this channel that can't leave the house and can't do this. So I don't take that for granted, at all. I'm very grateful for everything, and yeah, I like to get out as much as possible. Pulling up, you guys probably won't be able to see it. There's a factory over there. It is huge. It's behind the white building there, and I wanted to get in there. That's the old Warnaco silk mill in Altoona, and these younger dudes that have a local channel, they actually went in, and there was like dead cats hanging in the basement. And not that I want to come across that, but it was decrepit in there, and it was really it was really awesome. Like the lab coats were still hanging up, and I tried to do it the right way. I went and scoped it out. I could have gone in, and I didn't. I tried to do it the right way, and the owner of the project, I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, but he was like a complete jerk about it, and basically was like, oh, like, he wanted a resume and all this stuff. I was like, dude, I'm not with the Discovery Channel. I'm a YouTuber. No one's going to watch this video. I'll spend a week on it and it'll have 45 views. But, I really tried to do it the right way, and he would not budge. And now it's being remodeled. It would have made a great, like, before and after, because it's being remodeled into like awesome office buildings with restaurants and everything else. But he wouldn't budge, man. He thought I was just like going in there to exploit it or whatever. I don't know what he thought. He just didn't have time because he's rich and he's busy, and he probably just thinks I'm some young idiot, which I guess I kind of am. All right, we're coming into downtown Altoona now, where all the action happens. You might see 12 cars. There's a couple abandoned churches down here that I'd love to hit. I try to do it the right way now, because it's not worth paying fines over. And like I said, you could just be in the wrong situation where if I was carrying that, and I got arrested or something, or there was someone in there, God forbid there's someone in there that pulls a gun on me, and I those are the things that you never want to run into. That's horrible. But that's why I try to run it past the owner, because chances are, if a place is really abandoned and it's not completely blown up yet, like, the reason why a lot of these property owners are bitter and they're really upset is because people blow them up. Like, you wouldn't believe, like, I put the prison video on here, and I had to turn the comments off because so many people asked where it was and how I got in and where is it at. And it's like, no offense, but I did my homework. I drove up there personally and like scouted it out. I talked to the owner. I did it the right way. I had full access to the place, 3 different times, and didn't even have to look over my shoulder. But I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, man, you go up this street and just bust on in, there you go. It's like drive up or Google it, look up the owners, look up the deed, do whatever you got to do, get in there. But don't ask me, like, I'm not going to exploit the place. I would advise you to try to do it the right way, because it's better that way. If you really want to capture like the essence of the place and you're really in it for the historical significance, or if you're actually interested in the building, then do it the respectful way. If it's just like a random house that you're driving by out in the country and it looks beautiful during a sunset, I get it. You might want to hop out and film it. There's nothing, I'm not going to say, I mean, I do that too all the time. But when it comes to like if it comes to a place that's not blown up yet and every other YouTuber hasn't done it, chances are the property owners are cool about it if you show interest in it. And they'll okay it if you sign a waiver, or most of the time they don't even make you do that. They just are like, go ahead. And I send them a copy of the video after, and I always ask them, are you okay with it? Was I right about everything? And they're like, yay or nay, which I've never had a nay yet. There has been one video that I haven't lost. I appreciate it, Laura. You're definitely one of, my main supporters. You've been on this channel for a long time, and I really appreciate it. You're one of the diehards. There's only about 3 or 4 of you, but I really appreciate it. Chad, I don't want you to put your actual address on here, but I don't know your address. If I had, I would totally drive by and film you right now just to show that we're out here. But I don't know what your address is. If you had the wife's cell phone number, I would totally tell you to text it to her. Tell me like a landmark to drive by, and I'll drive by and say what's up. Yeah, Laura, Chad's been one of my friends for years. I didn't even realize he was subscribed to this channel. Oh, okay, left after Old Aldo's, second after that. Okay. When we get way down towards Aldo's.
Turn left.
Yeah, take a left. I'll have to read it again because I'm an idiot. Reagan, I really appreciate that. I'm glad that it brings a sense of, home to people that are from here. It's kind of rewarding because even though, Altoona gets a bad rap, everyone says it's lame. Pennsylvania in general, people say it's lame, and I'm like a diehard Pennsylvania support. Like I love Pennsylvania. I love the mountains. I don't care about beaches. I don't care about, to each their own. I'm not knocking going to the beach. Beaches are awesome, but like everything that I could possibly want. I had a great childhood here. I had awesome friends, and it has its problems, of course. Every city has its problems, but it's a great place to live, man. I mean, I'm fine raising my kids here. I think they'll do well. That's ultimately what it's all about. I'm not. A lot of these people like to, they get out of here and they move away for a few years and they're like, oh, I'll never get back to Altoona. They always end back here somehow. But but if this can, if this brings you, some joy seeing your hometown, it's kind of why I do it. And I like to do it for the old folks, the older folks that worked in a lot of these places or had, parents or family members that worked in them. And I like to hear their feedback as well when they say like, oh, my cousin worked in that building and did this or that. And that's really neat because they probably would never see something. Like no one cares about a lot of these places, you know what I mean? I try to bring them back to life even if it's for 5 of you, because Chad, I think we're you lived at the Fairview, had a lot of bats. Everyone thought it was normal. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh yeah, for sure, Miss Buck. Dutch Hill's a nice area. All right, hold on. I got to go back to Chad's message here. Left after Aldo's, and second left after that. Also, go straight one more. Chad, if you're still on here, dude, I think we're like coming near your house. Dude, there's probably some old Victorian abandoned houses back here, man. There's a lot of Victorians on this side of town. You gotta watch out, you get shot in here getting into these houses.
What? Right.
Am I left or right, Chad? Hold on. Oh my. All right, left. You met the mayor. Yeah, that's not saying too much. I mean, no offense. No offense to him. I just
That's not something to brag about.
wait. Are you, Chad? I think we're on your block. We're gonna go super slow, and I want to see you run out in the middle of the road. I want to film it.
Is that him right there? No.
Are you sitting on your steps? Next block. Okay, we're coming.
There he is.
I don't see him.
It's
Off
right
to the
there.
front. Oh, there he is. Dude, there. Oh, dude, shirtless and everything. That's gonna get demonetized because you're naked.
That's wild. I've
What's
never been
up?
online.
Well, how is it? Is it Is it?
Look how far behind we are.
Oh, you're super far behind, dude. Now I can see how bad this lags. Oh, hey, there's a car coming. Hey, we're gonna roll, brother. It's good seeing you, brother. Talk to you later.
Call me, see ya.
I will, bro. Okay.
Where's my dog?
Oh, the dog's out there. All right, you're good.
Later.
Later, bro. All right. I got to sort of see where my boy Chad lives. The gritty streets of Altoona, everybody. This is where it all goes down. We are in the grittiness of. No, this is a nice area. This is not the grittiness of Altoona. I can promise you that. This is safe to be over here. All right, so let's continue.
That was funny.
Karen, Hollidaysburg was interesting. Lived there too. Yes, Hollidaysburg is very historic and beautiful. I've done a couple spots around there. I did the green church. I forget the name of the church. It's a ways back there in my videos, but the green church that's downtown Hollidaysburg. It took some real convincing to get in there, but I'm glad I filmed it because I'm pretty sure they're bringing that down soon too. Chad, I'm gonna have to come over and visit one of these days. But like, I didn't realize you were that close. That's crazy. I guess just keep. I mean, just go wherever. Do you want to get? Do you want to get into the dark areas? Do you want to go on the back roads? Yeah, Karen. If you get a chance, check out the video. I mean, it's. And for those of you that have stuck with my channel for, the past couple years, I really appreciate, like, you must have a lot of patience because my videos were so god-awful boring. Like, I mean, they still kind of are. I feel like they're not boring to me because, like, I think of it this way. I'm going to edit my video as if it's something that I would want to watch on TV. Like, it's how I would want a show to be if I watched it. And the way I used to do it without talking and everything, I didn't want to jump into the whole YouTube persona, let's vlog and film myself. Like, I'm not really into that. As you can see, I'm still not filming myself. It's not that I'm afraid for everyone to see my identity. I'm not running from the law. There's nothing like that. I just don't need it to be about me. It shouldn't be about me. I want it to be about the places that I visit, and I know I use it a lot, but the historical significance behind them. I don't need you guys to, worry about like, oh, what's him and his wife and his kids up to today, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I'm married. I have kids. I have a house. I have a normal job. But that's not really what, that's not really part of this. This is an escape from that. Not an escape from my wife and kids. They're with me a lot of the time. But it's an escape from, everything else, I guess you can say. So I really don't bring that world into this world. This is the underworld. That's why it's the underground, and I like to keep it separate because sometimes, my daily life is so boring. You guys wouldn't want to see it anyway. Yeah, Reagan. We're just trying to keep moving and hopefully not lose service. I can't. I'm so glad that you guys are actually hanging on and watching this. I feel really bad for you as far as how boring this ride is. It would have been much cooler if I was in a control room right now in the 90-degree weather, and that's why we're not. But maybe not. Like, if I do another live stream, I'm gonna make it a point to try to be in a cool spot and not just do this. But I mean, realistically, the only abandoned places that I would actually feel safe being in for a solid hour live streaming, I don't even know of any close by. They'd be too far away. It'd be crazy to drive to them just to talk on here to 6 people for an hour. So I just feel like if there's any questions you guys have or if there's anything you want to discuss, like I'm here, you know, at least doing this. Laura, Hoarders is amazing. A lot of the houses that I film should have been on that show. Some of them have so much crap in them that the floors cave in. Yeah, I see a lot of hoarder houses. Unfortunately, it's like part of my job. But very interesting show. Very sad. All right, which way should we go, guys? Altoona is left, Glasgow is right. You can't even see it because this footage sucks. So we're gonna go right and go down some rural dark roads. I even thought about, like, I could have even gone to like a cemetery. I thought about doing like an abandoned cemetery and sitting at it, which I'm glad I didn't now because it's raining really good. You can't really tell on the phone, but it's raining pretty good. And I'd be sitting out. I would have had to have cut this short already if I'd be outside. But I did a string of abandoned cemeteries last year for October, and they didn't really get, you know, I guess abandoned cemeteries really aren't that interesting to watch. I even forced myself to go to one at night when I, like, by myself, to try to creep myself out. And I think that's like the lowest viewed video. It was the only night video I ever did, and it got the least amount of views of any one of my videos on the whole channel. So I'm not wasting my time going to abandoned cemeteries anymore. Not that I do this for views. I really, to be honest, I don't care. I don't expect any of these to even hit 100. If they do, that's great. But I lost you guys for a second. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's caught up yet. Laura, yes, we definitely have a lot of so-called haunted roads in and around this area. I don't know if you're familiar with the White Lady of Wapsie, the Devil's Elbow going up Wapsie Mountain. I don't know, there's all kinds of, yeah, the Horseshoe Tunnel. Thanks, Chad. I actually did a really shitty video on the Horseshoe Tunnel. Sorry for cursing, by the way. I mean, I won't throw any F-bombs out there, but once in a while a shat might come out. But Horseshoe Curve Tunnel, it was one of my first videos I did. It was like the worst, most boring video I've ever done. And it was the first one to go semi-viral. It hit like 10,000 views in 2 days. And this was back when I had like, I don't know, 30 subscribers. And yeah, that was pretty much that was the tunnel, the haunted road that I did, and it's horrible. Don't watch it. I think I actually privatized it because it was so lame. You used to sit at the Fairview Cemetery and watch the druggies come in and out. Yes, sadly, Karen, Altoona has a very, very bad drug problem. Sadly, I've lost about, not even exaggerating, probably 20% of my friends, or 30% of my friends that I grew up with are either dead or in jail for drugs. Fentanyl, Oxycontin, opiates. The opiate problem and opioid problem, whatever you want to call it, in Altoona is pretty rough. It's rough everywhere, I think, but it hits here pretty hard. But they manage it. I mean, for every 10 they take down, you know, 10 more pop up, 20 more pop up. So it's a daily struggle. We got 8 people on here now, man. This is a record. This is a record, everybody. Chad, my ears. What am I? Is it too loud? Oh, you watched an episode of The White Lady this morning. That's awesome. Royer Mansion in Williamsburg. No, Reagan. I will make a note of it and check it out. One of you had said, one of you told me about the Stella Williamson house in Portage, and that was one of the creepiest places I've ever been. I'm sorry.
It was Glitzen.
Or not Portage. It was in Glitzen. Yeah, as far as like creepiness, because she had 5 dead infants in the attic for, what was it, 50 years they were up there in a trunk. Yeah, that's the craziest story I've ever heard around here. That's like gone unknown. Like no one even knows about it except for, you know, people that lived in that neighborhood or whatnot. And it's one of the most interesting places I've ever filmed, and it was because of a viewer. So yes, Reagan, I will check that out. I promise. If I can film it, I will. Like, I'm always open to suggestions, man. Like, I'm not, like, I'll have to repeat it for anyone else that hasn't heard it. I do not get suggestions from, if you look at my comments on my videos, there's not many, you know, there's maybe like 3 or 4 per video. There's not all this, there's not endless locations available to me. I have to like drive to find them, and sometimes I'll drive for 3 weeks, you know, go out a couple times a week and find nothing. And I have to make it work. Make sure we're still going here. Oh, I got you, Chad. Reagan, there, Evil Kitty, there you are. You were on here the whole time. You were the one who showed it to me. Yeah, they tore it down. I should do a Return to Rotten for that place. Because it's gone. You know, I don't want to do a Return to Rotten to a place that's not changed, but if they're torn down or changed into something new, I like to follow up on them. So you can, if I get really desperate for a video and I have nothing to put out, I will make the 20-minute trip to Glitzen and do it before, and I'll put it up at the Stella Williamson house. Any of you that haven't seen the Stella Williamson house, check out that video. Bear with like the first 3 minutes intro, because you know how I am. I have to put the boring part in first, because the people that can't pay attention or need instant gratification, I have to like get the boring stuff out of the way so that they can, you know, so that it gets more gratifying after the boring part. It'll kind of hold their attention. I get to the craziness. But the beginning of that, it tells the whole story, and obviously I didn't talk back then in my videos, so it's typed out, and you got to read it. But it is so insane that happened in that town of Glitzen, and no one knew about it. It's not even the fact that she murdered 5 of her own babies, but the fact that people lived next to her and saw her pregnant 5 different times, and didn't they wonder where the kids were? Like, I don't know. It's really bizarre to me, but it's a true story, and it happened, and I got to film it thanks to you, Evil Kitty, like within months before it was torn down. And I got permission, man. See, and I tried to go in without permission at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was I did a drive-by, and I thought I'd check the doors, you know, and then I just ended up calling the magistrate, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna do a story on this, clarify. And they just said, yeah, be careful. If you can get in, you can get in. And I was like, wow, you know, I could have fell through the floor in that place. It was really decrepit, but they were cool about it, and they let me do it. I appreciate that, Evil Kitty. Unfortunately, I tried to do my best on it and be respectful about it, because though I am a horror fan, and though I try to like make some of these videos creepier, because some of them have creepy stories and it goes with it. I don't know about you guys, but an abandoned building with clown music in the background, well, that might be creepy actually, but I try to add some creepiness to it because they are nostalgic, they are creepy in a sense, and I feel like that just flows better. But with that video with the Stella Williamson house, I really tried not to get too morbid with it, because it's a really freaking sad, it's a sad situation, and it's almost hard to believe. That's a good idea, Chad, about the Sums Tytuna Cave. I did film my Tytuna Caves, about, you know, the first 50 yards of it or whatever inside, but very crazy place. Tragedy happened there as well. The diver drowned in there. Her oxygen tank ran out when she got stuck. But I try not to do all morbid stuff. I try to do, like the B building, I tried to make a happier video because I knew a lot of high school kids were going to watch it. But for the most part, I just do them how I like to do them. And that's the beauty of YouTube. If people don't like it, then they don't have to watch it. No one's forcing them to. They don't have to like it. But I appreciate those of you that do, because, you know, it's kind of like, I guess what I kind of use YouTube for. It's not that I'm dying to get something out every couple days. I use it as an archive to kind of just keep, they're like home movies to me. Like, they're memories to me that I can look back on. Hopefully, if YouTube doesn't, implode like all these other apps, they don't last very long. But YouTube's been up and running for about 13 years now, so I'm really hoping that these videos stay on there forever, and I can look back when I'm older someday and show my kids, like, this is what Daddy spent his whole summer doing, going to, abandoned houses and getting arrested for no reason. But so that's my hope, is that it doesn't go anywhere, but because I don't have enough memory to keep all this stuff. It's used as an archive, and I have so many videos that aren't even posted. They're privatized, and I haven't released, and I probably never will, because they're just not long enough to be video. They weren't credible, like cool enough. So I keep everything on there kind of as like storage space. Like, here, the man that had those 3 girls chained to the basement. Yeah, Karen, that's crazy. Stuff like that happens all over the place. And, it's amazing how normal some of those people come out of those situations. And you'd think that if you were in that situation, you'd be completely insane, but they come out and they're interviewed, and it's like, wow, that's the person who was locked and chained in a basement for 10 years. It's crazy. Right, Evil Kitty. That's the way I see it. A lot of these places I try to get into before they're gone, sometimes within like a day or two. The one building was getting torn down while I was inside of it. It's an older video. It looks like clickbait, but it's not, because it has a ridiculous like thumbnail with a circle, and it says I'm in there. But I was. It was downtown Altoona. It was a real dilapidated complex, and it was getting torn down, and I heard that there was a cool piano in there, so I filmed it while they were tearing it down and got out unscathed somehow. I just got lucky. Yeah, Laura, a lot of people say the same thing, and I mean, I learn a lot. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not some encyclopedia. I'm a history buff. Like, I love history. I appreciate history, and I appreciate architecture and carpentry and everything, and I appreciate art. So all of it kind of goes together in this channel in a very cheesy way. I don't use any good equipment. I don't even use a laptop. So, like, this is the best that I can do with a phone. Because I don't want to. It's not that I can't afford a laptop. I have a laptop. I could use this other equipment, but I don't. I choose not to, because it just makes it more complicated. It's so much easier to record my voice in my phone and record from my phone that shoots 4K. And like, if I was shooting an actual movie and I wanted like a real cinematic, situation going on, I would hire somebody. But for what I do, I don't want to carry equipment into a place that I might be running out of, being chased by a dog or a cop. So I'd rather just use what I use and be able to edit. I can edit while I'm laying in bed and not sit at a desk, and it's great. I thoroughly enjoy it. I sometimes enjoy the editing more than filming the location, to be honest. The white lady's house still there. Are you talking up in? I don't know of any white lady's house up at Wapsie. I'm sure that, I mean, there it might be there. I don't know. If it is, I'd love to go film it. Karen, you have a lot of photos of flowers. Yeah, flowers are pretty awesome to photograph. One of the best things to photograph, I guess you could say, because there's so many different colors, and you don't see those colors naturally on everything. It's usually painted. Laura, I know, like, I try not to be hard on myself, because I'm not really, like, I'm not my own worst enemy as far as this goes. I'm not really, like I said, I was never in it for any other reason than to just art, just to do it. I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. I'm not in it for any other reason, but to do it's fun. I have no expectations at all. I don't get like, I would hate it. I'm a human being, so yeah. Sometimes if someone's like, oh man, like just wasted 5 whole minutes of my time. This was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes it's like, oh man, like I feel bad for those people. But at the same time, it's like after you work for 30 hours on a video and that's the comment. I've never had anyone say that harshly, but people are tough out there. If I don't give them exactly what they want, if I don't give them their visual crack on the screen that they can inhale through the screen, they're like angry. Like if I don't do a place that someone's expecting me to do, they get like upset, and it's like, man, why don't you go do it? Like don't be mad. Like just, you have a phone in your pocket, I'm sure everybody does. Like go film it. Don't be mad that I couldn't get there this weekend. But I really don't have that issue with anybody. I don't really get negative. I get some thumbs downs here and there, but it's 98% positive. It's very rare. Usually the videos that went viral, like the funeral home and the Karen Copley house in Altoona, God rest her soul, that like those videos get a lot of criticism because of what they are. Catherine Copley house got a lot of criticism because people thought it was disrespectful, and people leave disrespectful comments on there and say like really mean stuff about people that are dead, and it causes actual fights. Like there's fights in the comment sections of some of these videos. It's insane. Let's see something. Yeah, Evil Kitty, I did Lost Children of the Alleghenies. It's way back there. It's one of my earliest videos, but it's on there. Oh, Chad, she was answering you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did that, buddy. It's an old video. It's very, very boring. So you might want to like keep like something that'll electrocute you every like 5 minutes to wake you up during the video, but it's on there. I met some train hoppers at Martin's. Took their pic. Oh, that's awesome, Karen. Karen, if you have a Instagram, or do you post your video or photos to Instagram or anything? If you do, man, post it up, man. And everybody, all 6 of you, go check out Karen. All 5 of you, because Karen, you're one of the 6. But no, I'd rather have 5 diehards than 1,000 subscribers that never, that don't care. Which I have 3,390 subscribers that probably don't even watch my videos. Like they're probably subscribed from like just one of my videos that went viral, or they're subscribed from the DIY video that I have. And I mean, like I said, I don't care if no one watches my videos. It's just a storage space for me to put my footage. I don't care. It's a home movie to me. But it's awesome that some of you are interested in what I am, and I am so grateful to know that it makes it all worth it to know that some of you look forward to it, because everyone needs something to look forward to, even if it's as dumb as hearing your favorite song or seeing a stupid video of me driving on back roads like now. But it's worth it to me if some of you care. Yeah, Karen, you can always say that. I mean, I guess I'll unveil some of the shady secrets. I've had some of them, I would say, who refuses to fly up here, just wants me to send him some footage. So I'd have realtors really let me film. I'd say like, yeah, I don't want any talking in it. Like I'd act real serious. Sometimes you have to dress nicer than what I normally dress. Put on kind of a persona, but if there's a place that I want to get in, it's like OCD to me. Like I won't be able to sleep if it's that worth it, and it gives me that feeling. I will do whatever I can to get in. If I have to pretend like I'm buying it, or if I have to, you know, whatever. If a door is missing or a window is open, I'm going in, and I'll take the trespassing charge if it's worth it. But if it's not, the only places I've ever gotten in trouble were places that weren't worth it. That were, you know, like a farmhouse that I just needed a video to put out to keep the analytics going. But it's I really don't waste my time like trying to. I'm not going out of my way to get in trouble these days, because you know what, once I talk to these people, they always, like, 4 times out of 5 they let me. There might be one every once in a while where they're like, you know, we've had a lot of people breaking in and I don't feel comfortable, you know, but it's very rare. People are pretty cool about it, man. Karen, I'm sorry, I'm going to catch up here. You were taking a video of a burning house down 4th Street. Oh, yeah, you could have said, oh, yeah, that's what I did read that. That's what I just was basing all that off of. Yeah, if you have to say you're from the Mirror, if you have to wear a yellow vest and pretend you're a city worker and go down a sewer, you got to do what you got to do to get in these places. But I try to, you know, obviously I'm not an idiot. You don't need to be a scholar to know that, you know, you're posting your activities on social media where everyone in the world can see it. You know, I'm no idiot. If I was really that, if I was really that illegal with it, and I was really, like, if I was wanted by the police, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. like it's kind of, yeah, like some of these guys, you know, like I'm not gonna front, like Rob, you know, Rob's the real deal, RNK all day. He did just get arrested and all that, and he went through all that, but you know, he's so spread out. Like he'll do a place overseas, then he'll do a place in Texas, then he'll be in New York, and it's like he doesn't worry about it all that much because he's just so used to it, and he, you know, I don't know, but he's the real deal. We've gone out together, and he, you know, he'll film anything, dude. He's the real deal. He doesn't, nothing's fake about his videos. So anyway, shout out to RNK all day, Rob and Christy, good people. But all 6 of you, I'm sure you already know who he is. He's like a bigger YouTuber. But I don't know. Let's catch up here. Have you heard of Elmhurst, Crescent, Loretto area? No, I haven't. Is it? Hold on, I'm trying to catch up here. Okay, sorry. Okay, it's in Crescent, Loretto area. No, is it Elmhurst? That sounds like makes me think it's a hospital because I'm thinking of Penhurst. Yeah, let me know. And hey, if any of you want to like private message me or anything like that, instead of leaving, you know, if you don't want to have full conversations in the comments, you can always DM. Is that the term you use for Instagram? I don't know anything about Instagram. But you can always message me on Underground Stills on Instagram. My wife, you know, runs it, like I said earlier, but you know, I get all the notifications on there as well. I just don't post anything on there. Those are her photos. It's supposed to be a haunted place. I don't know if anyone can get in there. I will, I'll check it out. I will definitely, I'll look into it tonight. It's a house, okay. Yeah, Laura, it's a bummer, but you know, he knows what he's doing. He's more intelligent than people think, and I'm sure he's just fine. He has lawyers, and you know, he has everything pretty much squared away. We met up a couple times. We were supposed to meet up again, but it's just hard. You know, it's not easy for me to be realistic. You know, it's, you know, I have a family and everything. A lot of these guys, you know, they can't keep girlfriends because they, and I shouldn't say just guys, there's girls that do this too. There's a lot of girls that do this too. And they have awesome channels, doing awesome Instagrams. We follow a lot of, you know, female explorers, but a lot of these people I should say, they have, not saying they don't have a life like I do. I'm not saying I have more of a life than anybody, but like, I honestly don't know how they do it. Like they're pushing like 2-3 videos a week, and they're all in different locations. Like they must film 10 places when they're in one spot, and then release a video, like 2 videos a week out of the 10. But I used to be able to do that back when it was fresh and I had all these places to go, and the kind of like everything was kind of my platter at the time. I had so many places to go I couldn't keep up with it. Now, I've hit most of these places. A lot of them are torn down because I didn't get to them in time, and I refuse to go outside of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to all you guys, outside of Pennsylvania. If I step foot outside of this city, well, not out of the city, out of the state. I'm sorry. If I step foot out of the state, I'm like out of it. No, guy, I don't do drugs. I know it's hard to believe. You probably think I'm real tuned up right now, but I'm just really tired. It's been a hell of a day. But I refuse to go outside of Pennsylvania because if I do, I know that I'll have OCD and I'll have to film everything in Maryland then, or everything. I'll want to go down there and get everything in that area, and which there's nothing wrong with that. That's what normal people would do, but I'm not normal. And if I step out of my boundaries, oh, here's this abandoned church right here. I'm hitting that too. You can't see it at all, but it's right down here by the Altoona High. It's going to be brought down any day. I actually was friends with the owner of it. I used to party with him when we were growing up, and he doesn't own it anymore. I think the city took it over and it's going to be gone. Here's the new high school project in Altoona. All this craziness going on. $88 million high school project. I've had to watch that video like 1,000 times when I edited it. That took forever to edit that video because it was in 4K and I was doing it on my phone. It was really rough. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm running behind here. Drive around, shoot 'em up, dollar store. It's Friday night. Yeah, we would probably catch a few crimes in progress, but yeah, we're gonna make another loop. We're up to an hour and 13 minutes already. Yeah, Miss Buck, Walmart was right, or Walmart. I'm losing my mind, dude. Roosevelt was right there. And I really wish that I was doing this back then, like actually filming back then. I was doing this, but not filming before they tore that down, because that school was the architecture and everything, it was older. It would have been great. Keith would be even better, but they turned that into something positive. Keith Junior High. Half these people probably don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, you can go wherever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Roosevelt, I didn't go there. I went to Keith, but Roosevelt would have been awesome. And it would have been really awesome to get the tunnel system that went under from Roosevelt to Altoona High. Some other kids did that. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I saw that, Karen, where they had to video the kids. This is I didn't jump on the bandwagon and make a bunch of coronavirus videos or social distancing videos. Everyone jumped on and said quarantine, and people were saying they're not filming anywhere during quarantine. I'll be the first one to tell you I've done more filming during quarantine than any other time than when I first started, because what better time is there to do it? This doesn't involve being in a crowd. You don't have to touch anyone, you don't have to talk to anybody, you're in the middle of nowhere. This is the safest hobby to have during a pandemic where everyone's sick. I mean, you literally, I don't see anyone when I do this. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people are like, yeah, we haven't gone anywhere, or we haven't filmed anything. And I'm thinking, like, why not? Like, I know you're supposed to stay in your homes unless like you had to be somewhere at the time, but I would be gone all day and I'd be in the middle of the woods. No one, I'm not going to sit on my couch when I could be breathing fresh air. Yeah, exactly. Okay, like a lot of people were, giving other YouTubers, they were making rude comments because they're like, you're supposed to be staying in and blah blah. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, what's the difference if I'm in my living room or if I'm in the middle of the woods? Like, I'm still not around anybody. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that whole debate and conversation. It's ridiculous. But I will be filming no matter what is going on. If it starts getting bad again, you'll see more videos pop up probably. If we're forced to stay in, I'll be filming more than ever. We're going down towards getting into like the mansion park area. Yeah, you could go past Baker's Mansion. We'll take a ride past Baker's Mansion.
Which one?
It's not this one. It's gonna. I'll show you where. It's up here further. Yes, Miss Buck. Mercy Hospital. I did it already. It's not that one. I'd have to say. Sorry, trying to catch a turn here so we can go by the old Baker Mansion. I think it's the next one. If not, we'll just drive around the neighborhood and find it. Yeah, Mercy Hospital, Miss Buck. I filmed it. I didn't get into the basement where the morgue was. It was kind of a bummer. But oh no, keep going around this loop, and then we will. Then you'll be making a right. Yeah, go right up this next one. It should be around there. But yeah, Mercy Hospital. I would love to get back in there, but it's half remodeled now. That's going to be another Return to Rotten, because that's obviously, if anyone is familiar with Altoona, that's going to be a new Greystone, and they are killing it. Like that place is going to look awesome, and it's a success story. You know, like most of these places don't turn out to be anything, and for that to be what it is, it's pretty impressive. It's probably the coolest renovation I've ever seen on an old hospital. All right, so we're coming up on Baker Mansion here. Probably can't even really see it. Go ahead a little further. Wish I could zoom on live. Oh, I can, dude. All right, we're in here. No, I filmed this like mad long ago, but I'd like to get back to it. I'd like to do it again because my videos were so horrible back then. I mean, not to say that they're great now, but they were so bad back then that place scared the hell out of us when we were kids. Like that was the most haunted place in Altoona, and we driving by it is just, you know, it was creepy back in the day. But I want to go back to it and film it right, and like, you know, I'll talk and I'll add the stuff in it that I do, and do it the way I do videos now, as opposed to 3 years ago when I filmed it and just put free classical music in the background and whipped around like I was on a go-kart. So hopefully, oh sorry, I didn't realize I was filming my fingers the whole time. So hopefully I can get back in there soon. I just talked to the Historical Society. They're pretty cool with me. They know me, and I'm gonna try to do that up right again. All right, so let me catch up here. Oh, you were born in Mercy Hospital, Chad. That's what's up, dude. They fixed my hand when I had to get stitches, when I cut it at work at the cabinet shop. And I was like right near there, so I ran over there, and they stitched me up, and they did a good job. So, you know, that hospital will be missed, I guess, because they did my stitches right. Cool. Dude, I sound like such a douche. I sound like the typical like YouTuber I'm not trying to be funny. This is really how I am. Yeah, Laura, they don't live there yet. We're actually going to be going by here. We're coming up on the old Rudders, or the new Rudders, the oldest gas station in America, guys. Be ready. It's coming up. Man, live footage sucks so bad on a phone. There it is. Okay, this is America's oldest gas station. It's like, there it is. You'll see it on the sign. Nope. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, all right, we're coming up on Rudders. Behind Rudders is where that excellent King's was. That I had to do a Return to Rotten on that, because that King's was like, I mean, anyone that lived out, that was like the main hangout for so many generations of people. It was awesome. Yeah, it's still full service, Miss Buck. And they don't, Rudders doesn't sell diesel on purpose, so people have to go to that gas station for diesel so that they don't close down, because Rudders would have cleaned them out already. And that would have been really disappointing. I would rather have the world's or America's oldest gas station than have Rudders. To be honest, no offense, there might be some Rudders lovers on here, but I really could care less. Do people live there now? What's the difference? Switzerland. Yeah, I hear you, Chad. Yeah, I don't quite know the story with the Rudder Sheets feud, but there's a big feud between the two gas station families, I guess, and they're starting to move into each other's turf. There might be a turf war between Rudders and Sheets soon, because they're really getting brave and stepping on each other's turf. I think this is zoomed in still. Yeah, it was. Sorry, guys. Wow, on live it's really hard to do anything. Adam's School, would that have been on the right of me, Miss Bucket? Oh wait, no. There it would be, I think. No, I'm completely wrong. I don't know, Miss Buck, to be honest. All right, we did like a full loop around. We're coming back up on Altoona High now, and I'm just gonna drive until I am getting, closer to home, which is gonna be a little while. If you guys don't mind. I mean, I know that this is tons of fun on a Friday night. I mean, we could be all, out sitting on a bar stool partying it up, because that's what everyone else does that's my age around here. That's why I'm the only one on YouTube Live filming the rainy streets of Altoona. No, I literally didn't know what else to do. This was the best I could come up with for a live stream that would at least have something moving on the screen. I didn't want to just film myself sitting in a chair, and I didn't want to just film, a still street. So I figured this would kill 3 birds with 1 stone. I put the baby to sleep in the back, and we take a ride, and it rains. Not that that's really killing anything, but and I get to talk to you guys, which I don't know if I'll ever do another live stream again. I mean, I will if you guys want me to. I mean, if I only have the 7 of you on here, it's totally worth it to me. Like, I will. Man, the high school is dark. There's the B building, and it is gonna. Did they tear the bridge down yet? No. Maybe I'll do a live stream of that. They're gonna be tearing that bridge down real soon, and then they're gonna start. I don't know when they're tearing the B building down. I said in the video, I was like, any day now it's being brought down, because that's what I was told. But it might not be for like another month. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy when, that whole situation, the whole school situation in Altoona is really crazy. But I mean, I guess you got to keep up with the times. It'll be the most, high-tech school in the area, I guess. $88 million, I'd hope so. People walking across the street, you guys can't even see it because it's further ahead, but people are walking across the street and you can't see them. They're like just popping out in between these cars. This is where all the magic happens on 6th Ave down here. No, I mean, Altoona gets a bad rap, but like for real, like I could take you guys down all the so-called rough areas in Altoona, and there's nothing going on. It's empty. Like, it's not the way it used to be. I feel like when I was a kid, there was people out everywhere. There was stuff going on everywhere at all hours of the day and night. Like, kids on their bikes. There's just people on the sidewalks. There is nothing, and it's not even during a pandemic right now. Like, people, that's not the excuse. This is just the way it is now. There's not a whole lot going on. During the day, you can't even drive down these streets without, there's tons of activity going on with cars, but you don't see any kids outside playing anymore. I guess they're all on their devices, they're letting the devices suck their brains out of their heads until they can't even remember their own names. Yes. Let's see what's going on here. Sometimes these don't show up and they're really like late. Evil Kitty, I try to stay out of Altoona after dark. Always seem dangerous. Yeah, oh, there's TKs. Now there is sometimes some action going on there.
6 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, they start selling beer at like 6 a.m. It's for the early birds. But yeah, Altoona, you know, it has its problems, but it's really not dangerous. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I walked down all these streets. I had friends that lived in all these neighborhoods. I had girlfriends and whatever. I never remember it being scary. Now, as an adult, you know, having kids, I think more. I'm more, you know, I think a little bit more than I used to. I don't fly by the seat of my pants as much, and I really don't. I worry about my kids and stuff like that, but am I worried about getting robbed or shot when I, you know, go into any of these neighborhoods? Not at all, not in the least bit. You know, I'd walk my daughter down any street in Altoona, and I'm not worried about getting, you know, ripped off or anything. But it does happen. That's not to say it doesn't happen. Like, it happens all the time, but yep, we even had smoking permits to be allowed to smoke. Miss Buck was that trying to catch up with these. Fantastic. I'm reading some of these, Chad. It was great. Yes, I saw some crazy meth girl on Facebook. She showed her meth kitchen. Yes, there's lots of meth labs in Altoona. Meth lab capital of Pennsylvania. Now, I'm sure North Philly is a little worse, but you guys made it a long time ago. Yeah, kids definitely change everything. I think twice now before I risk my life. You know, before I really didn't value, not that I didn't value my life, but I didn't think about it. I didn't consider, like, oh, if I fall through this floor, I could die. You know, that wasn't a thought, you know. But yeah, it's when you know that there's someone more important than yourself that you have to be alive for, you tend to think a little deeper into everything you do. Even driving every day, you know, is different than, you know, pre-kids. Messages are not showing up right. Evil Kitty, you stay up in the mountains after dark. I don't blame you. I wish we lived in the mountains. That's my ultimate goal. In a little Evil Dead cabin in the middle of nowhere. That's my goal. And be self-sufficient as possible. Maybe after the kids grow up. Yeah, Chad, you're pretty. It's amazing, you know, and a lot of the friends that we grew up with are getting busted for them. You know, it's pretty insane. Yeah, Karen, that's a good way to be too. No, Laura, Evil Dead, the movie. I always picture myself living in the Evil Dead cabin, like from the movie, because it's my favorite movie of all time. Yeah, Karen, that's a good way to be. You can't be one-dimensional. You know, that's the problem. People are real quick to judge these days, and they're, you know, they think they know everybody by, you know, the shirt they're wearing or whatnot, you know, but you learn by talking to people and speaking to people, and you know, you find out that all these scary looking people are nicer than the people wearing suits and ties. When it comes down to it, you know, they might look rougher, but ultimately I feel safer rolling with a group of thugs in my own town than I do on Wall Street with businessmen that are snorting coke and sleeping with hookers 10 times a day. You know, like we just have this outlook, you know, and with the news and everything else, people really tend to be very one-dimensional and don't understand any other culture but their own, especially if they don't go anywhere. So yes, I try to talk to people too. I don't want to take too much time getting too deep there. Your cuz lives at the bottom of Saxton. Yeah, there's a place in Saxton called Phyllis Rangers Memorial. It's a haunted spot, supposedly haunted. I don't. It's another thing. I don't want to get too into that, but I'm still trying to find that ghost, guys. Still not catching any. And I'm hoping that one of these days, one of you finds something really crazy in one of my videos that I overlooked, and you guys can prove to me that I caught a ghost on film. That's my ultimate goal. Not really, but I am open to it. I would love for it to happen. All right, guys. So I am headed back. We'll give it another 5 minutes here, man. If there's any other question, I don't want to cut you guys off after talking your heads off. I want to, if there's any other questions you want to ask me, we have 5 minutes. I do remember that. I tried to show that to the wife. I don't have it on memory card anymore. That was crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's a real hard subject. I don't want to make anyone mad. I believe, and the wife, you know, is completely into that stuff. She's 100% believer. She sees things, she hears things, you know, that in a lot of these places. And I've heard some stuff, but I can always like kind of justify it with something that's real, that's going on. You know, if the wind's blowing outside and I hear something move, I'm gonna blame it on the wind, you know, because I heard the wind blowing. But that doesn't mean that this weird stuff doesn't happen, and it does happen to me too. But I always just gonna brush it off as some other explanation. Yeah, well, I didn't notice them until they were back on the screen at the house. Yeah, that was really creepy, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. The Torrance State Hospital, that wasn't, you know, clickbait when I said caught ghost at 1425. That ball of energy or light or whatever, that was definitely, you know, that it was what it was. I don't know what it was. I'm not saying it was a ghost, but I'm saying that's what most people call it. So, but that was real. That obviously I wasn't edited or anything. I don't even know how you'd add something like that to a video, but that's the only like real, you know, footage that I ever had of anything like that, anything paranormal, if it even was. A lot of people want to say it's dust, and people will actually like fight over what it was. So I try not to get debates started too often. Laura, I don't want to see any ghost circles, however, I do keep an open mind. Exactly, that's exactly how I feel about it. So many people that I've grown up with and talked to, and you know, they swear to me, and they're people that aren't, you know, demented, or they're not liars. There's too much proof. There's too much. The problem is with the internet these days, and with these other urban explorers that try to do like half haunted, half exploring channels and everything. And every video that they have, like a ball will roll across the floor in every scene, and it's like, come on guys, like we know that there's not that much activity out there. If there was that much activity out there in your video, like you would have, like, you know, there'd be reporters pouring in there to film. They're so fake that, you know, it ruins it for the people that have real sightings, because they're really hard to believe. No one, I could get real, like if I had real evidence, no one would believe it anyway. So I don't push for that. I just like to make my videos kind of creepy because I just like that type of vibe, and I love horror movies. So I want to make even if it's not a creepy place and the sun's shining, I like to make it a little eerie if I can. All right guys, I'm gonna wrap it up in 2 minutes here. Seen 2 apparitions. Definitely convinced me. Evil Kitty, I hear that so often, and I believe you 100%. I would never say that I'm too deep of a thinker to ever say that, you know, something doesn't exist, because I find out new things every day, right in my own backyard. You know, I don't. So who am I to say like they're not real? You know, just because I've never come across one or seen one in any of these so-called haunted places doesn't mean that other people don't, because they could be right outside of my frequency and I just might not be picking up on it, and other people might. You know, everybody is wired differently. Yeah, oh my God, Evil Kitty, thank you so much. I don't want to call out names, but yeah, you hit it right on the head. These guys are like messing up the game for, you know, people that are doing this for real. They're making all these ghost hunting, you know, all these paranormal channels that are legit. They're making them look ridiculous because they have to keep outdoing each other, and every video has to have more activity in it because they want to get more views. And it's bullshit. I mean, it's like, just do what you do. If you catch something, you catch something. If you don't, you don't. But it shouldn't be about trying to capture, you know, a ton of paranormal activity in every single video. If there's a haunted place you go and you don't capture something one time, it just makes it look more credible. Makes it more realistic to me. All right, guys. Chris Angel. All right, Miss Buck, I will see you in the comments, I guess. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, here's a new one. I like Urge Brothers for the paranormal activity they catch. That's awesome, Jefferson. I haven't seen them. I have to check them out. I appreciate paranormal video channels just as much as, you know, urban explorers, like, because most of the time they are urban explorers, but they just do that too, and it's all interesting to me either way. I love it. I love anything that's creepy. So whether it's real or not, I can be entertained by it. But when it's so over the top fake that it's comical, then like I'd rather just watch like a horror comedy movie. All right, okay. I will do live. I'll post another one out, and I'll post another one up, you know, in a couple weeks or so. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll feel like it, you know, in a couple days. I don't know. But I'll do this again. If this is, you know, I'll try not to just drive the whole time. But if I could get like a cool spot to go to, I would love to take you guys with me and actually see it in real time. See you later, Karen. Thank you. Evil Kitty, thank you. Oh, thanks, Chad. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, it's weird doing this, man. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm talking to a screen, you know, and as you can see, I can tend to talk a lot, so it's not really a problem to talk. But if I was on camera talking, it'd be a lot different. I wouldn't feel comfortable, and it would be really boring anyway if I was on here for an hour and 40 minutes. All right, Laura, I'll talk to you later. Chad, hit me up whenever. I'll see you guys. Thanks for anybody who tuned in, and I'll try to keep them coming, man. I'm just gonna. It is what it is. If I get them, if I film something, I film it. If I can't, I can't. But I will always put out content, you know, at some level. All right. Good night, everybody. Be safe. And if you're in Pennsylvania, stay cool, because it's like 95 degrees here and it's horrible. But everybody be safe out there. I really appreciate it. And good night.